All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of the Blue Wave podcast. I feel like I got to get some kind of like intro music or something. So if anybody knows how to do intro music, anybody knows anything like that, hit me up, dude. Because I feel like me just coming out straight talking and just silence straight into talking is off-putting. So we got to work on that. So, but we got a lot of stuff to cover this week. But first, we want to shout out our sponsors. Big shout out to Circuit City. They gave me $5,000 to promote them, so shout out to Circuit City. Anyways, there was a lot of news this week, and I decided I'm going to keep these podcasts real short and sweet, little 10 to 15 minute podcasts. You know what I mean? Just kind of doing a general coverage of the week in Los Angeles Dodger history, I guess you could say. But I did want to make a statement. It's a pretty big statement. But it's the simple fact that if the Los Angeles Dodgers win the World Series this year in 2024, I will set free all of the whales at SeaWorld. That's right. I've actually had that capability this entire time. And if the commissioner of baseball and the fans want Shamu to ever see her family again, he'll let the Dodgers win the World Series this year. So I just want to make that a clear statement. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this week's topics. So first off, Trevor Bauer faced Dodgers minor leaguers this week. Big whoop. He faced minor leaguers and he dominated minor leaguers. I mean, dude, come on. Like, people are acting like, oh, yo, I mean, okay, I will say the dude hit 99. That is pretty crazy. I didn't think he was going to hit 99. But, I mean, it's like, man, dude, you got to think, how blackballed is Trevor Bauer from Major League Baseball? You know what I mean? Like, Major League Baseball in no way, shape, or form wants that guy to play. Like, there's no other way around it. Whether it's right or wrong, whatever it might be, I think just objectively, the objective truth is that Major League Baseball, no matter what, does not want that guy to play. He's talked about how he wants to play for league minimum, this, that, and the other. There's so many teams out there. The A's would sign that guy in a heartbeat. They don't care. You know what I mean? They're already, like, the most hated, they're the most hated franchise in, like, all of sports right now. They would sign Trevor Bauer in a heartbeat. But that Manfred is just, hey, man, that's not happening. You're not playing in Major League Baseball. So you're probably going to have to go back to Japan, maybe figure it out in the KBO, but it's not happening in the MLB. The truth is, man, sometimes you can be innocent legally, man, you know what I mean? But sometimes you just cannot be, you just can't be innocent morally, if that makes sense. Like, you can be innocent in a court of law, but it's just like, man, dude, like, I don't know. I saw the pictures, and I'm not going to rehash the whole events, but I'm sure we all know what's going on. I don't know, man. Like, it just gives me a sick feeling in my stomach, and I feel like that should be away from baseball, and I think baseball is a better place without him playing. Me personally, I think he's a great content creator. I do like his content, stuff like that. But I don't know, man. There's just like sometimes there's I don't know. It's such a difficult situation because there's so many different sides on it. Who knows? Anyways, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I don't even want to talk anymore. We're talking about baseball. That is so not baseball. I feel like I'm hosting a fucking like this is an MTV show out of nowhere. Okay, this is like. Who cares? All that shit happened. Trevor Bauer's not going to play for the Dodgers. Probably not going to play baseball again. That's the bottom line. On to the next topic. The middle of our infield is a cause for concern right now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys have noticed. So Gavin Lux was our shortstop, right? Actually, hold on. Time out. Let me refrain. Let me start over. Corey Seager was our shortstop. And he was amazing. And we let him walk. He went to the Rangers. What? I'm trying to think. What did he do with the Rangers recently? I can't remember. Oh, that's right. He won the World Series. I'm pretty sure he was World Series MVP. How Corey Seager is not a Los Angeles Dodger right now, how Justin Turner is a Toronto Blue Jay and not a Los Angeles Dodger right now is just so crazy to me. Shout out Max Muncy. Love Max Muncy with all my heart. The dude cannot play third base. Gavin Lux cannot play shortstop. And Gavin Lux can't even play second base. And what's our other options? We throw Miguel Rojas over there? We let Mookie Betts play shortstop. He hasn't played shortstop in a full season. Is his body prepared for that? Is he gonna get hurt? Are we risking Mookie Betts' health for the sake that Gavin Lux has a brain aneurysm every time he tries to throw a ball? Is that what we want to do? Now there's other options. Willie Adames on the Brewers, I should say, is an option for trade. Which, to be honest, I'm surprised that Willie Adames is not a Dodger at this very moment. I think that's just a very obvious trade. He's a good right-handed bat. We have so many lefties. He's a really, really quality defensive shortstop. The dude can rake. How is he not a Dodger yet? I mean, at the same time, nobody wants to deal with the Dodgers right now. The Dodgers are the empire. They are the empire. And you can't make deals with the empire. So the Brewers are probably asking for every single prospect in our entire farm system for Willie Adames, I can imagine. And you know what? I trust Andrew Friedman. I think he's going to figure it out. Maybe Kike Hernandez plays shortstop. Don't forget, we got options. Chris Taylor can play shortstop. Obviously, Kike can play shortstop. Miguel Rojas can play shortstop. How he's still on the team, dude, I don't know. Listen, Miguel Rojas as a person, man, I love that guy. I think he's a great dude. I don't know if you guys remember, he helped Kershaw with his no-hitter, had an amazing play during Kershaw's no-hitter. That's back in the day. That's a little throwback right there. But overall, Miguel Rojas just cannot be on our team anymore. With Chris Taylor, Kike Hernandez, Teoscar Hernandez, all these mouths to feed in the lineup, it's, I'm really surprised that Miguel Rojas, and he probably won't be for very much longer. To be honest, I have a feeling that I can't remember exactly what his contract situation is, but I imagine he's traded at the deadline or something happens with him because it just doesn't make sense that he's still on the team. Which brings me to my very last thing. With all this conundrum that's going on at shortstop with Gavin Lux, what are we doing trading Michael Busch? We did a 1-for-1 swap with the Cubs for Michael Busch. And I'm just struggling to understand what the reason for it is. I don't know what we were thinking. Michael Busch is a really, really, really quality player, man. And he was never given the opportunity during the season. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but Michael Busch would be called up. He would get like 2 at-bats, and then he would be benched for like 5 games straight. And then they would send him back down to the minors, and then we'd have all these guys just struggling. Chris Taylor striking out left and right. And it's like, they just never gave that guy a chance. You got to think there's something going on behind the scenes. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was like addicted to crypto gambling and, he's like $40 billion in the hole and he's fighting a crypto gambling addiction that we don't know about. And that's why they traded him. And, hey, if that's the case, then, hey, figure it out. But I doubt it. I think we just made a really, really bad trade. And I think it's going to be a trade that we're going to come to regret. So the last part, no, 2 more. So the next part is our big free agent that's still out on the market right now. And that's Blake Snell. And how crazy would it be if Andrew Friedman just just a little 3-year contract? I'm talking like $27 million each year, I'm saying somewhere in the $30 million range, a little 3-year deal. You know what I mean? I don't know if Blake Snell takes that. Obviously, we all know who Blake Snell's agent is and his history with working with the Dodgers. So it's a complete fantasy. But it's just one of those things you just got to stop and think about. The fact that we're in spring training, the season is just about to start, and Blake Snell is not signed yet. You got to know Andrew Friedman is sliding in and saying, "Hey man, what's your number? What is the number we got to put on this check?" And it's probably way too high, and we probably won't get him. But it's just one of those things that you just like to think about. But at the same time, if we're being realistic, Blake Snell is going to be a Yankee. Blake Snell is going to the Yankees 100%. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Blake Snell is going to be a Yankee. But, sometimes you just like to be optimistic. You like to think positively. So lastly, this actually just happened today, actually just a couple hours ago. Yamamoto had yet another kind of rough outing. I probably should have had his stats pulled up. Let me see if I can pull them up while talking at the same time. But yeah, he had another rough outing today. I want to say he gave up like 4 earned runs. I think he had high strikeouts, but he just had a concerning amount of earned runs. I want to say it was like 4 earned runs and like 7 strikeouts. I can't find the stats. I can't talk and Google at the same time. But it was rough. All we got to know is it was a rough start, and it's kind of back to back rough starts. So we got to start thinking, man. Is this guy just kind of trying to figure it out in spring training? It is spring training. The guy's obviously trying to figure it out, but there is the one looming thing, and I know us Dodgers fans, we don't like to talk about it, man. We don't like to talk about it, but it is a thing we just gotta come to grips with, right? Yoshinobu Yamamoto has never pitched in Major League Baseball. We have no idea what he's gonna be like in a full season, and when you start seeing things like this, you start getting just a little bit worried. But you also got to think, again, it is spring training. Maybe he's just trying to work things out. He's probably throwing pitches in situations that he would never throw in those situations, and he's just trying to toy with things. That's the optimistic side I have. But then there's the other side that's like, God, we gave this guy $325 million, dude. Like, man, I start thinking about Chris Davis on the Orioles and some of these contracts, man. Anthony Rendon on the Angels, and these gigantic contracts for these players that just kind of sit there, and it's like, ugh, you hear these horror stories, and I think it's going to be different with Yamamoto. I think just hearing the way that he is in his interviews, and you can kind of just hear who he is. He's a 3-time MVP in Japan, dude. I mean, he is an amazing pitcher. But, I'm just really hoping that he can figure it out. And, I really do have a feeling that once the season gets locked and loaded and the games actually start mattering, I feel like it's going to be a different energy, and I think he's going to really figure it out. The dude is electric. The one thing is, I when you're watching him, even in the pitches that, or the games that he's struggling, the last couple, like the one before, again, we were just talking about Gavin Lux. A lot of those runs are coming from those poor defensive plays and poor defensive judgment. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Yamamoto progresses throughout the season, his first major league season. But we are at the 12-minute mark, and I did say I was going to keep these about 10 to 15 minutes, so 12 minutes seems like it's an appropriate time. Thank you guys again, if you guys are listening. I do really appreciate it. Again, sometimes you just got to do something creative, and we're going to see what we can make out of this. So thank you guys again for listening. Blue Wave Podcast. Make sure you guys follow on Twitter. I'm probably going to make an Instagram too. I just got to get around to doing that. But thank you guys again for listening, and peace out.